and you have to grow as an artist and everything. So you don't want to get too wrapped into it to where you one of those people that are just never dropping because you're just kind of scared scared it's not good enough. It's sad to like be in that place.
You're back in that what if.
Yeah, because fuck the what if, man.
Hello and welcome to Start the Beat with Sykes. My name is Sykes and this is my podcast, not my jacket. Before we get started, I just wanted to take a quick moment to thank everyone who checked out the last episode. If you're one of those people, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for coming back. But for those of you out there who are new to the show, welcome. Please feel free to make yourselves at home. And as always, there's beer and soda in the fridge. My apologies, I forgot to ask. Do you need a beer and or a soda?
I'm cooling. I'm
You're
great
cool?
right now. Yeah.
I got some iced coffee that I definitely shouldn't be drinking at 7 o'clock at night, 7:30 at night on a Thursday, but your boy's getting wild. I got this jacket on, as I mentioned. I got this iced coffee.
Sherpa boys.
I'm fucking doing it. So I'm sitting here today with my new friend, fellow musician and human being on this planet Earth.
Yeah, it's lit.
Joziah Council. Make some noise for the internet.
Yeah.
So, Joziah, it's awesome to have you in the room.
Thanks. I appreciate
Good
you.
to meet you. For the people out there on the internet that don't know you, why don't you give a quick little just introduction, who you are, what you do.
Hi, internet people. My name is Joziah Council. I am a musician, multi-instrumentalist, vocalist in the city, recording artist, and I just have fun making music every day of my life. It's lit.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love the positivity. I love the energy. Why waste your time doing things that you don't fuck with?
Yeah, well,
I mean, granted, there's things that you got to do,
yeah,
but all of those things should be helping fuel the stuff that you want to do.
1,000%.
You know what I mean?
1,000%. I'm definitely the type of person like happiness over anything. So if I'm not rocking with something, I'm just like, I'm not a part of it at all. I just can't. It's just,
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like I dropped out of college. Like,
oh, okay.
That tells you everything you need to know about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just
What were you in school for?
I was in school for marketing.
Okay.
Yeah, I was getting a bachelor's degree in marketing.
Well, I mean, motherfucker, everybody's life is marketing 24/7
yeah, that's
nowadays.
what I'm saying. And the thing is, like, that the knowledge I was just learning was everything I could learn on my own. You know what I'm saying? And I just knew I wasn't going in that direction anyway. And it's not an easy decision, to make that.
Where were you
choice.
in school at?
Chatham University.
Cool.
Yeah, I was at Chatham, and I dropped out my junior year, mid junior year. It took me that long to really realize, like, yo.
How long ago was that when you dropped out?
I'm coming up on the year anniversary.
No shit.
Yeah.
Congrats one more time.
Thanks. Like I want to throw a party. Yeah. I'm trying to organize it, inviting everybody out so we could turn up.
Yeah. That's one thing where immediately I'm like, okay, it's good that you're in a good place, but you also don't want to encourage people to drop out of school.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's my dropout party. Fuck school. Unfortunately, not everybody has the same energy.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. And sometimes when people talk to me about it, I always try to like preface like I'm not like anti-school. I'm just like pro, know yourself, because
I'm not anti-school. I'm pro Joziah.
exactly. You know what I'm saying? That's the vibes. And like, I just want people to like know what's best for them. So it turns out for me, college wasn't it. You feel me? And even though I succeeded academically, I did well. I was actually like president of my class at one point, and just like,
yeah,
I don't know how often that happens. Like, you're president of your class, you drop out, but it just was all about trying to find myself and realizing what was best for me, and that was definitely the move for sure.
Sure, and maybe there's a part of yourself that you wouldn't have found if it wasn't for your time in school. Yeah,
no, definitely. I moved up here for school. And
from where?
From Beaver County.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, to outsiders, I'm a Pittsburgher, but Pittsburghers don't like when I claim the city. You know what I'm saying?
You can claim it.
All right, bet. You're a Pittsburgher?
Yeah.
All right, bet that. He said I could claim it. I'm a Pittsburgher.
Yeah,
We lit.
I grew up in Wilkinsburg. He can
all
claim.
Right, cool. Yeah, we lit. I'm a Pittsburgher. Yeah, but I moved up here from Beaver County, and just moving to the city was, a great idea, because I developed so many connections and everything moving to the city that helped me, get into music, or at least make the connections to, really solidify myself.
There's a lot of people that have, moved closer to downtown, like from areas you were, and like Greensburg, outside areas. And it's funny when you talk with those people, because people like me, like I grew up here, and I forget how lucky we are to have the infrastructure that we have here. And it's so funny when, I'll talk to somebody that's excited to drive an hour and a half to play at Roboto. And like, I take those things for granted because it's 5 minutes from my house, you know what I mean?
Sure,
but it's like, that means so much to so many people. And it just speaks a lot to like the power of what we have, because there are a lot of people that'll be like, oh, Pittsburgh doesn't have shit. And it's like, you're crazy. Where the fuck where'd you grow up?
Yeah,
you grew up in the city? Yeah, you're just taking it for granted.
No, for sure. I think Pittsburgh's a great place for an artist to, at the very least, like solidify, their base. You know, at least I think it's a great like starting ground and like boot camp for artists. Because we don't have a huge population. Still a small city. Everything's a little bit concentrated. Especially like artists like myself. Like there's not too many like singers kind of like in the hip hop area, you know what I'm saying? Like in the hip hop arena, like R&B, urban music.
There might be more than you think.
No,
I keep on coming across you people. You keep on hitting me up to be on the show. I'm like, how? Like, that's
because it's an awesome show, Brian.
Well, thank
what do you expect?
I appreciate that, but it's really cool just being able to. If I didn't have this show, though, I probably wouldn't have any idea who you were, or half the other people that have been on here.
For sure.
So it's cool. This is like my way, because like I do music too.
Word.
And
that's super dope.
Outside of me, it's like, okay, well, I'm either in the studio or I'm playing shows or I'm rehearsing.
Got you.
I don't have enough time, like all the time in the world, to be connected with everybody else. But I'm so passionate about like what everybody else is doing. Like people like you and my peers in the city, like that's my inspiration. Like I don't even like listen to Spotify and shit all that much. It's just
that's
like
love, man.
I just
that's
love
crazy.
being able like just in my own like just knowing what's a part of the community and what's around me.
For sure.
Meeting people like you.
Yeah. What do you play?
So I do hip hop.
Oh, word. Big bet. Are you a singer? Because I definitely just excluded you from my, from my hip hop.
Well, before we started, we were talking about recording vocals and things like that.
Word.
That's why I have that background.
Yeah.
No, I mean, outside of the podcast, I do hip hop. I produce. I make beats.
Bet.
I have a band.
Man.
I do all of those things. I
That's
do
lit.
art. I painted that.
Yo, you go crazy. That's insane, man.
So I do a lot of things. It's nice to meet you, Josiah.
It's nice to meet you too,
The
Brian.
podcast is this definitely just like a side thing for me, just to
For
like,
sure. This is so dope, man.
It's nice to just be able to like meet new people.
Shout out to
It's
you, bro.
Thank you. It's like, how often do you get to actually talk to somebody? It's like all the time I see people at shows, and it's just like I get to talk to people for like 2.5 minutes.
For
maybe.
sure. But you've been following them on Instagram for a minute. You know what I'm saying? You know how that is. Like,
So I'm just trying to get to know people. So let's get to know you a little bit more. One of the things that I have a feeling that you have embraced recently, and I think is really really important and empowering for any artist, regardless of your medium, is the power of no. Like learning how to say no to shit that you don't want to do. We're talking a lot about like, not putting energy into things that you don't fuck with. And you're talking about how you dropped out of school. And like it felt like at some point you just started learning how to say no to things you didn't want to do.
Yeah.
Before that, did you have a problem saying no to things? Or did you just not know fully what you wanted to do?
It was just the same thing with everybody. Like it just, I didn't know myself or wasn't, I would probably argue to say I wasn't as confident in myself as I am now, to make those decisions, because, for a lot of decisions like that, you're going against your parents, you're going against societal, norms and pressures and all of that stuff. So I just didn't think my opinion on, because I knew, from the jump, really, like I really always wanted to do music. I always started music young and everything. So going into college, I kind of just like lied to myself and was like, yeah, I'm gonna like get a marketing degree real quick and work my way into a record label, and then I'm gonna do this music thing. When I mean, I was trying to be like an A&R. Like that's not even like, we live in 2020.
It's a dying breed.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I kind of just like made up a fairy tale in my head. To convince myself that going to college was like the right move. But
you don't know until you know.
Yeah, exactly.
You kind of got to be in there and then you realize.
Yeah, so it's not about, getting more comfortable with saying no, because that I don't think that was the issue. It was just like figuring myself out as a person, more and more. And that just comes with time. I needed time to figure myself out. And I wouldn't take, it's not like I would take the years back in college,
No.
But I definitely think it was time for me to make that decision, and I'm just glad I got to that point. to where my confidence and belief in myself was secure enough that I could make that decision.
Like I said before, I don't know. Who knows if it would have happened without the experience of school?
Yeah.
And I think that the important thing is nobody really knows what we're doing in the grand scheme of things, right?
That's it, man. That's it.
So
we all figured it out.
It's just important just to do.
Yeah.
And then you figure it out as you go.
1000%.
And if you spend, 2 years on something that you don't end up doing it's like, if you were in school for a couple years or whatever, like it wasn't a waste of time. That's nothing to regret. There's still experiences and knowledge that you gained.
Exactly.
And like it's all a bigger part of the picture of life. It's like we're not going to be doing this music shit for the rest of our lives. There's going to be other things that come in. I mean, it's always going to be a part of us.
Yeah. This isn't going to be the only thing I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life. It's not the only thing I do now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm talking like on like a very like, if you like were to break it down into everything in terms of like, like family, friends, leisure time, all those things. Like music's always going to be a part of that.
Yeah,
but you got to think about like life as a whole. And the older you get, the more time passes, the more you start to appreciate everything else. And it's just like, don't underappreciate the time that you spent doing things that maybe you're not doing anymore.
Nah, and the thing is, like, you kind of just got to get out there and experience some things to know it's not for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I never went to college, like, I could just be here like, man, what if I went to college and...
the what if, that's the worst. Yeah, it's better just to do it.
Yo, and that's the reason why I go so hard right now, because I've had like those what ifs to where it's like, what if I would have, launched my solo career off earlier, and when it's just like, you just got to do things, you know what I'm saying? So I hate having like regrets or like what ifs, like that. I will not be that person, you know what I'm saying? And that's just like, I just think all of us like really have to get to that place where we realize that regret is like way worse than anything. You know what I'm saying? Because like the last thing you want to be is like 80 years old and just be always talking about like, man, I wish I would have done this and wish I would have done that and this, and like, nah.
Oh yeah,
I'm trying it all. You know what I'm saying? Everything I'm interested in, and if I don't like it, like college,
there's no reason not to. It's you have all the resources at your fingertips, pretty much within reason. Yeah. But if there's something that you can't obtain, then you just figure out what you need to do to get it.
Yeah, exactly. 1000%.
Work towards it.
1000%. And a lot of the shit that you're gonna try and do might not work. And that's just a part of it.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like and it's not even wasted time. Like you have to go through that process of trying different things, I
mean, that's what makes dope shit dope, is that the majority of the time things aren't that dope. So when something dope happens,
that was a gem.
It's like it's like a more modern way of saying you can't have the good without the bad.
Facts.
It's just the yin and yang of life. But you've got to still learn how to appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't be bitter. You can't be negative, or else you're never gonna have good if you let that sort of shit get into your brain.
Everything's a learning experience. Every single thing.
Yeah.
Like from a bad show that you had, you know what I'm saying? Like to a win, the next day. Like everything is a learning experience. Like you have to take something.
Oh yeah, you have a bad show. You gotta really ask yourself, like, why was it bad?
Yeah, especially failures. You know what I'm saying?
Like what did I fuck up?
Exactly.
Instead of blaming anything else or anyone else, what did I fuck up? Because chances are, if somebody else fucked up, you still fucked up having the wrong people around you. So you gotta. I mean, like, don't beat yourself up, but just like, yo, like, what can I do to make this not happen again?
Exactly.
Problem solve.
That's it, yo. And I think like failing is the building block to ultimate success.
Oh yeah.
Like it doesn't happen without failing. Like you can't succeed without failing. Like everybody starts from zero, and you just got to go through it and learn. And that's, I mean, being, how it is, like being a musician, and like think about how you first learn, how to play the guitar or drums or whatever it is, or sing or whatever. Like you didn't start off great. No one did. You know what I'm saying? You had to fuck up a little bit to get to
the perfect metaphor is a baby learning to walk. You just fall on your face over and over again.
That's it.
But then eventually you get it, and then before you know it, you're fucking running.
Hey, running it up.
Yeah. So let's get into your origins a bit. You had mentioned that you started getting into music when you were younger, right?
Yeah.
So what was that like? What were you doing?
I actually started in the church.
Cool.
Yeah, so I started in the church. I come from like a pretty religious family, like super religious family. Pastors, everywhere from my father to grandfathers and everything. But in my grandfather's church, when I was about 9, I started like singing and everything.
They don't play in the church.
Nah, man. It's crazy. It's crazy because we talking about all of these like, failures and everything. And a lot of people's things that they have to overcome is like that first performance.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And luckily, I had that when I was like 9. You know what I'm saying? So I got that out the way, so I could be. I'm cool now. I can stand on this table right now, give you a little something if you want me to. But when I was 9, I started singing and everything. I remember the first performance, man. I couldn't even like, I couldn't even like sing. My voice was shaking. I was so nervous. So I started singing there. That's where I learned how to play like drums was my first instrument. But that came a little later when I was like 14, 13, maybe something like that. So I didn't pick up instruments until I was a little bit older, but, then piano came, in the church too. Next thing you know, like by that time, like 14, 15, I was leading like the youth groups and then the adult teams I'm leading and writing songs.
That's great.
in the church and everything. So it was really like something that prepared me to be able to do what I can do now for sure. Start.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's awesome. I love hearing backing stories like that. And I love that aspect of, the church and the background that you came in, just being able to like have that opportunity for kids to just put that energy into something positive. Bruh. Because like outside of like, just learning how to play instruments and stuff like that, like you're just learning how to be responsible, show up to shit on time.
For sure.
Work with other people, communicate. There's so many skills that you learn that a lot of people don't figure that fucking shit out until college.
Facts.
And they don't even figure it out then. Like it's terrible.
Yeah. No, it was definitely like, it definitely groomed a lot of the people involved to just, be better like socially and obviously like musically and everything like that.
That's great.
It's crazy. Like if you think about church, like a boot camp, literally, like especially like with gospel churches and everything. My church was like non-denominational, but more on the side of like Pentecostal, like Kojic type. Like music is the pillar of the church. You know what I'm saying? Like there would be people that would come to listen to the music and leave before the sermon started. I swear to God, like
I'm not surprised at all.
That'll be the part you look forward to, and it's hype. Like the energy is
those
crazy.
Players are unreal,
bruh. It's insane. Like it's ridiculous, and that's where I fell in love with music. Like I just saw like what it did to people.
It's impossible not to,
bruh. Like there would be people like crying, bawling their eyes out, and or jumping. Like I've seen people run around the church like. It's lit. Like, you would think you was at like some hip hop concert. Like people go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like think of a mosh pit in a church. Like it's lit. And that type of energy and that ability to evoke those types of emotions through music made me like fall in love instantly. And I felt it myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I fell in love with music there and then I taught myself like, piano, but I had a teacher with the drums and everything, and just started going crazy with it. Yeah.
That's awesome. So when did the transition happen from just playing in the church and everything to actually creating original music? What was that experience like for you?
Well, yeah. So like I said, I was making originals in church. But, But I'm definitely I would write original songs in church and perform it in church. We were. I say we, like my brother, my sister, and a friend of mine, we were all like, we had a little group in church and everything. And
that's super
we're
cool.
even thinking of trying to like drop a project and everything when we were younger, never got around to it. But definitely wrote a lot of music in church. But I definitely had like a transitional period because I'm no longer like really involved in the church like I was when I came up. Obviously, that's just my upbringing. So I really didn't have a choice. But I would say when I started creating like more secular music and like the type of music I make now, it was probably like senior year of high school.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
Sounds
probably-
about right.
Yeah, it was probably like senior year of high school. One of the
I feel like
first.
that's an appropriate time. You finally have something to say about yourself in
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
You think you know it all. Shit.
No, yeah, exactly. It was on like some love shit though. You know what I'm saying? Like it was.
That's it. We all think we know.
Yeah, but it's crazy though. It's crazy. Like some of the songs that I wrote back then, I still rock with now, and I think there's some of my best work. You know what I'm saying? Like writing wise, and because at that time, like still being involved in the church, like I was constantly surrounded by music. You know what I'm saying? Like whereas now, I'm not a part of a band or anything. I listen to music. I might listen to music here and there. I don't listen to too much music, but when I was in the heat of it in church and everything like that, I had like practices on Sunday or on Saturdays. I had to play Sundays. I had to play Wednesdays. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we're always
consistent.
Yeah, super consistent. And then on top of that, like there was a school, like I said, it was my grandfather's church. There was a school inside the church, and then there was a daycare inside the church as well. So my whole life was in that church. Like my mom started the daycare. My grandmother was over the school. You feel me? So even a part of school every day, like we had little chapels and everything where we had to sing and like, all the time, like 100% of the time, I'm just surrounded by music. So it was just always in me. Like you input or you output what you input. You know what I'm saying?
Environment's everything.
1,000%. And I really just start realizing that recently that how much that really affected me growing up. Because I just felt like I had the best content really like at that time, always being surrounded by music and just like outputting that was just like amazing. Yeah.
Like going back into like, I guess another reason why I started doing this podcast with like the little bit of downtime that I had was just keeping consistent environment, like a consistent creative environment where like, you know, if I got nothing else to do, I better sit down with somebody that's been doing shit to keep me in check.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
1,000%.
It's so easy nowadays to tune out,
bruh. Yo, you know, you could like I could pick up my phone right now and start scrolling.
Be gone for an hour. An hour. Like nothing.
It's terrible, yo. And like the thing is, like I don't even rock with Instagram like that. Like I'm not a fan of like the social media thing. It's a tool for sure. Like we all kind of have to use it, and you would think I like love it, but I'm not particularly a fan of it. But it doesn't matter. Like you'll get stuck on it. Like regardless, you don't have to love it. Like it's just second nature to pick up your phone and start scrolling.
The moment I fell out of, I think I used to really like social media a lot.
Word.
A lot. I mean, you know, you grow up around it, and like, I mean, I grew up with MySpace. I'm a little bit older.
Word.
So like. It was tight and it just wasn't as connected. Like you weren't like for MySpace, it was like some people had nicer phones that they could check it on, but for the most part, it's like, no, you're checking it when you're at home. That's it.
Word.
You know what I mean? Like,
and
you could use it on your phone, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't like an app. You weren't getting notifications and shit like that.
Damn.
It was a whole different beast.
Bruh, now
but now it's like you can't get away from it. You know what I mean? You might open up. You're trying to do something legit, like, you know, fuck, I got to send a work email or something, and then all of a sudden it's like, why the fuck is Eric in Kansas? And then like you're lost for an hour.
Yo, that's the thing.
Like I want to go to Kansas.
Exactly.
You're just like
you start typing in like spots in Kansas on Instagram. Hashtag
you're
Kansas
looking
spots.
up Greyhounds and shit.
It's bad. Bro, it's terrible. And then I be seeing these apps to where you can see like who's view. I literally saw an app. I'm not even kidding. Like you could see who's viewed your profile in the last like year, and I'm like, yo, the fact that people like need this information is just crazy. Like, and you could just go in a wormhole of just information. Who likes this? Like what stalkers you have, and like it's just like it's too much, man.
Yeah, the problem with me, I think, where I've really tuned out is how like everything started getting geared towards stories.
Like
and
Snapchat.
I know a lot of people fuck with the Snapchat and Instagram stories. Facebook has stories, and there's TikTok and all that shit. And it's like, it's too much ego for me to handle.
Yeah.
Like I liked when like social media used to be a thing where it was like, I did something great, I'm going to tell people about it.
Oh, word, yeah.
And now it's like, I did something, I'm going to tell people about it. You know what I mean? Like the greatness is
Yo,
like,
that's hilarious. I never heard that broke it down like that. That's hilarious. It's literally anything. Yo, it's crazy. And the thing is, like, the algorithm works with you, you know, being consistent. You know what I'm saying? Like consistently posting and and like all of this. So it's in your best interest to like post about every single thing. Like, yo, my brother, he's all about like, okay, we need to post all the time. And like I need to post more frequently and everything. Like it's a tool, it's a marketing tool at this point, you know. But he'll come, I'll be cooking breakfast. I live with my brother. Me and my brother live together. I'll be cooking breakfast, he'll come yo, like we're making eggs and bacon. It's lit. And I'm like, yo, I just need some.
Can
like,
I just have a fucking moment?
Exactly. I just need a moment, man. I'm just cooking eggs. It's nothing crazy, you know. But nah, that's my dog. He's always on the gram, like going crazy and promoting everything. But
so does your brother work with you to promote your music?
Oh yeah, my brother, man. Shout out to my brother, man. Like that's my number one supporter, like for sure. Like he goes crazy with everything. He's always at like all of my shows. But yeah, he promotes my music. He's a musician himself.
I was gonna ask because you'd mentioned that you were doing music with your family.
Exactly.
And my question to follow up was gonna be if your family was still doing anything, if those people were still active.
So my brother is 100% active. Yeah, he's on the scene right now. And he came from Philly because he graduated college, you know,
in Philly?
In Philadelphia at Temple. And he came back here just to build because his passion is music too. And he's like one of the best writers I know. Like I think he's a way better writer than me. Like his writing game is berserk, like it's insane. But I was already I was here before him, had a couple years here before he came back, so I was just putting him on, you know, to the connections I had and just trying to get him started. And yeah, we're a team, man. Like we work together a lot with stuff. We're trying to come out with some music for people because people want to see that for sure. But
music together,
cool. music together. You know, that can be a little hard because you know that's my brother, that's my blood brother. We grew up together. We're the realest with each other, you know. And then when you're both very creative, you know, everyone's different. Like the creativity just kind of clashes sometimes. So it's a work in progress.
It could be beautiful though if you make it work out.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, no,
you know
1,000%. So it's just about like finding the groove. But trust me, we already have some songs together. You know, it's just a constant like learning process, I'm saying. But we already have some songs together that'll definitely be dropping soon. And it's great work. I'm excited for it. Yeah. He's an amazing artist, also a singer. Doesn't do like the production and everything, but he's hard. He's hard as hell.
That's great.
Yeah.
So speaking of music that is going to be coming out soon.
Word.
That thing's making a lot of noise. I apologize if anybody heard that. It just sounded like a monster or something.
I thought that was the dinosaur Mona Lisa.
I don't know why that thing's making noise now, but I think that they like replaced. You see those metal things hanging on the side?
Word.
I think that the building people may have put it in and not screwed something in all the way. So now whenever the vent's vibrating too much, it shakes that fucking metal plate. Nobody knows what we're talking about. We're getting way sidetracked. Anyways, speaking of, you mentioned music that's going to be coming out in the future.
Word.
But fuck that, because you already got stuff that's out now.
Oh, straight up.
So let's talk a little bit about that.
Let's get into it.
Where can people hear this stuff?
Yeah, I'm on all platforms. Apple Music, Google Play, Spotify, everything. I'm everywhere with it. YouTube with some music videos.
Yeah.
Just wrapped another scene of shooting my About Time music video. That's coming out soon. Gonna be crazy. Shout out to my team. Like they're the best ever. And yeah, I'm everywhere with it. I got a little project out, EP out right now, and a ton of singles. Consistency is everything with all of these algorithms. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Like I said, so I'm just trying to be as consistent as possible, going the single route. You know, dropping a lot of singles.
Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
So, what is your definition of consistent in terms of dropping singles?
Yeah. So it's all about catering to your own workflow. You know what I'm saying? Because I know people like, you got you probably heard of PK Delay.
Yeah.
You know, being on the music scene. Shout out to him. He did the whole 365 joint, which is crazy. A song every year or a song every day for a year. I had the pleasure of like being a part of that project. We worked together on one of the last joints he put out at the end of the year. But him, for instance, he has the creative workflow to where he can just bust them off like quick. You know what I'm saying? And if you have that, then consistency. If I could write a song that every single day like that, I'm dropping 3 a day. You feel me? Like,
sure.
And monetizing it on Apple Music, Spotify, all of that. You feel me? So it's just catered to your own workflow. Me personally, I cannot create that quickly. At least something, you know, of substance that I think is, you know, worthy to drop. And it's also important too not to be too hard on yourself at this stage, because we're all up and coming right now. And you have to grow as an artist and everything. So you don't want to get too wrapped into it to where you one of those people that are just never dropping because you're just kind of scared scared it's not good enough. It's sad to like be in that place.
You're back in that what if.
Yeah, because fuck the what if, man. Like so I try not to be too hard on myself, but consistency for me, like ideally is like tri-weekly, maybe like a single a month, something like that. That's what it looks like for me. So if I can release a single like every few weeks, then I'm cool in the project.
Yeah,
you know, here and there. But that's hard, and that definitely doesn't happen for me. Like sure. I output slower than that even. So it's just all about, you know, thinking to myself like, hey, I need to be consistent. I need to drop consistently, and having that mindset continuously will have me to continue, you know, to drop if I'm always on myself about creating and releasing music and everything. So I think my last single I released was in, I think, December. Yeah, it was like December or something like that. And right now it's called Push Up. I don't know if you've listened to any of my music, but
I have.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear your honest take on it. But so my last single was dropped in December, and no one knows it yet, but whoever watches this will know that I'm dropping an EP. So this is an exclusive, Brian.
Okay.
I want you
when
to
are
know.
You dropping the EP?
So right now, like it's still in the works. Everything, all of the songs aren't even finished yet. By far, probably this is definitely like my best thing ever.
That's what's
like
up.
The best song on it is like the most to me, you know, out of anything I've put out. The EP should be dropping in February, so next month. Like short EP.
Cool. This will probably be going up in February.
Bet. So it's gonna be dropping this month.
If it's not already out,
super early March at the latest. But I'm so excited to drop this. It's like a breath of fresh air for me. And it's going to be called Sanctuary. Cool. Going to be called Sanctuary, kind of like paying homage to my roots and returning there. Because I feel like with the music I've been putting out, I've been working with like some dope ass producers, Garrett Hunter, shout out to Garrett Hunter, Cam Raleigh. And I've been producing some of the stuff on my own. Also shout out to JD. But yeah, I've been producing some of the stuff on my own, but I feel like what I've released isn't really all like me. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
No, it makes all the sense in the world.
Having to work with other producers, and like I said, they're dope. Like I have like the best connections and producers and everything I'm working with, but to be able to conceive the idea from the beginning, you know, start.
Nothing tastes better than a plate of food you made yourself, right?
Dog, it's so good. The seasoning is.
You're like, I can't believe I
get a
fucking
little
did
pinch
that.
of salt. You feel me? Like, yeah, and it's crazy, man, and the energy is crazy in the song. So, this I really went back to because I was working with a lot of like hip hop producers and everything, some pop and stuff. So it kind of put me into one lane for a second, and trust me, I love like coming up on the, you know, urban side, hip hop, R&B type style vibe, singing that way. But I felt like I was just stuck there for a second, and that's not all me at all. You know, I have so many different avenues I want to explore, and I'm still, you know, I think we're all always just finding ourselves as an artist. So I'm still doing that, but I feel like this work of art is 100% me, especially the first song on
Yeah.
it. Because I mean, I'm producing it and then like going back to, you know, paying homage to my roots and everything. Sanctuary, even though like I'm not as attached to the church as I was, that's where I'm from really. And I want to be upfront about that and really just acknowledging the fact that like a sanctuary is where you know, feel the most free, open to let anything out, to be introspective and really like search yourself and be able to admit some things. And like, that's what this really is about. Because a lot of this stuff is just like not that I have out right now is not that introspective. My last single is, you know, which is really like a turning point, kind of getting people ready for what's to come. You feel me?
Sure.
But a lot of my stuff isn't, and I really just wanted to be as real as possible. And it's not easy to be introspective a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? Like people listen to this stuff, and the world can listen to it.
Yeah, something I'm always telling people is that, you know, music is a conversation between an artist and the listener.
For sure.
And in that conversation, you got to make sure you have communication that's clear and that the person can relate with and wants to engage with. Otherwise, they're not going to want to talk to you. You know, they're just going to switch to the next conversation.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you're being introspective, it's real easy to be a little like TMI or just unrelatable.
Yeah.
Or, you know, too self-deprecating. Something.
Right.
It depends on what angle you're approaching it from. You know what I mean? But like, to like balance that right thing, to do something that's introspective, that's undeniably yourself, but still accessible enough that other people can relate to it and connect with it, because music is a connection.
Yeah,
it takes a lot of, I don't want to say it takes a lot of time, but it just takes a lot of like work and self-reflection to like get that in.
It takes a lot of time for sure. Like, I was working on the project right before I came here, just sitting working on like, I think it was like 8 bars of a verse for like 3 hours. I'm not even kidding. Like it's like that for me. That's just like my process and everything. So it definitely takes time. It's not easy. Sometimes you have to be a little strategic in you know how you go on it. And maybe I'm too strategic. I don't even know. But like I said, I'm still like learning the process of everything and just trying to find my swing. Just, you know, as an artist still. Like I just started releasing music, you know, as a solo artist. It hasn't even been a year.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like
right around the time that you dropped out of school.
Yeah, right around when I dropped out of school, that was when I released my first single.
Oh,
like
cool.
I dropped out and released my first single. Like literally, it's crazy. It was just like a turn in the book, like a new chapter, like that. Cool. You know, because for a minute I was actually in a rock band though, like beforehand. Like cool. I was in a rock band, Surfboard. Shout out my dog Ryan Hartman, crazy guitarist. But I knew, you know, just being a creative myself, that was a great time. You know, we went on a little tour and everything, and like we had our little base here in Pittsburgh doing like basement shows and you know, smashing up the rubato crazy. But I knew, you know, I just needed to do my solo thing because this is what I'm passionate about, and this is what, you know, I see my destiny as. You feel me? So it's like that real for me. So yeah, then I dropped out and went at it like full throttle.
So over the course of this year then that you're coming up on, what have you found to be easier than you would have expected, if anything? As
far as the like music is concerned?
Just in general.
Oh man, easier? That's crazy.
So everybody's always talking about what was the hardest thing.
Yeah.
But what was the easiest thing?
Honestly, like, bruh, one of the things that I thought was gonna be like way harder, and I'm just starting out, so it could be harder coming up, you know what I'm saying? But that was like a lot more easier was like the support, you know, like the support like people had for me, and the support I saw like people had for other artists, up and coming artists. Like, yo, for people to come out like to shows and buy merch and like spend money to see you and, you know, just support your vision. I mean, anything from like reposting to streaming and all of that, man. I'm like the most grateful person in the world for everything. So to get people to hop on the Joziah Council train.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't want you to I'm not trying to massage your ego or anything right now. But I just want you to know that I think a big part of that just is the energy that you bring to the table.
Appreciate that.
Like you are quite literally right now.
Yeah.
As we sit here.
Energy.
No, it's just I'm saying this because I think this is something that a lot of people should hear.
Word.
In terms of just have a good energy and put yourself out there.
Bro, that's it.
Like, you don't even have to be that good of a musician. If you have good energy, people will want to be around you.
That's true.
And then if you give a fuck about doing the music, just keep working on it. You'll get better.
That's it, man. Like, to be able to be myself and just have that support is crazy. And like, that's really all it's about, just being yourself and just outputting positivity, man.
We talk about environment being important.
Yeah.
If you are unapologetically yourself all the time, the people that are going to come towards you are people that like that energy. They're going to be people that are like you. They're going to be like-minded people because you're going to push out.
For sure.
You're going to push out that other stuff.
Yo, and then on the contrary, if you're not unapologetically you, which is not, the easiest thing to do all of the time, but if you're not yourself, then you attract people to a character you're portraying, and then it just causes pressure for you to continue to maintain that character. And it's just not great because that puts you in an unhappy spot. Anybody that feels like they can't be themselves, like it's not a good place to be emotionally.
When it comes to any sort of art, whether it's music or whatever, it always blows my mind that people that try to do something that's not them, like people that try to fake music.
Yeah.
Because it's like if you want to be popular, if you want to make money or whatever, there's much easier ways to do this than faking a music persona because there's so much heart and passion and time that goes into this. And to fake that is literally exhausting.
Literally. I tell so many people, like I said, it's about knowing yourself. Like, some people get into music because they like, it's just cool to some people. You know what I'm saying? And they see the people at the top, and they see like Drake and all of these people, like they want the diamonds.
Even Drake hates himself. He's still talking about Pusha T. It's been like a fucking year and a half.
Swear. And it's like when people get into it for those reasons, like you said, it's so much energy that goes into this. If you're not passionate about it, you'll burn out. I promise you. If you are listening and you are someone that is not passionate, deep down you're not passionate about it, you need to find your passion, because that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Like, wherever your passion is, it's not you shouldn't see these people at the top and be like, hey, these people are musicians and they're super cool. Let me be a musician. You should be like, hey, these people are passionate about what they do and found a way to maintain, through all of the hardships to make it to the top. Let me find something I'm passionate about. You feel me? So that's really the direction, like, you need to be thinking. Like, a lot of people need to change their paradigm of thought when it comes to the music, because I think people get into it for the wrong reasons. And just even about like putting a persona on and everything, like, sometimes you can be putting on a persona and you don't even really know it. You know what I'm saying? Like even getting into
that's people in general nowadays, thanks to social media.
Oh my God, dude. Here we go with the social media. No, it's just true though. It's true. Like, that's a whole nother topic. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's
a rock star.
Dude, it's crazy, man. Like, first of all, Instagram's a highlight reel. You feel me? Like, you only show your best, and it's cool. Like, you just have to understand that it is what it is. You feel me? Like, it's not like everybody you see, I'm sure it's not that sweet. It's not, the grass is not that green. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like people look at all types of other people on the gram and everything.
Oh, hell no. Yeah.
And they just like,
all you got to do is have like one or two friends and the shit they're going through.
Yeah.
They're not uniquely fucked. Yeah. Everybody has their shit going on.
Man, everybody. Life is hard a lot of times. Life is good a lot of times, but on Instagram, you're just gonna see the good, the good times. You feel me?
You see Cardi B doing brand deals on Instagram. I'm like, times are tough. I get it. Like You got to make money.
Yo,
it's like it's like, she's not making all that money from the music. It's you're doing all this other stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
It's nuts.
She's like a powerhouse. First of all. It's insane what she's doing. But no, like I was saying, getting into like music, even myself, honestly, like I said, I came, from the background with the church and all of that, yada, yada, yada. And I was writing, I wrote Don't Smile, my first single that I released, before I got onto the music scene. After Don't Smile dropped, I start, getting into the right places, doing shows and stuff like that. But getting mixed in on the scene, you see all of these other artists upcoming and everything. And just exposure to other artists will affect you creatively. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you really have to know who you are when you start pursuing music, because if you don't, you'll become, a product of your surroundings, really.
Yeah. And it is important to put yourself into the scene.
Yeah.
Just because you need to know either how good you are or how not good you are.
For sure.
Amongst your peers.
For sure.
And see what other people are doing.
Yeah, 1,000%. And then, I mean, if you see like some other people popping and getting a lot of traction, you might think to yourself, I need to create like them because they're getting a lot of traction, and that type of stuff can like skew your creativity. Next thing you know, you're not even making the music you really love, and you have this musical character, so you really have to make sure you are staying true to yourself as an artist. And that's what Sanctuary, the EP, is really about, just staying true to yourself. And like kind of like me, I guess like finding myself more just as an artist.
You're going to continue to find yourself.
Yeah, 1,000%.
And you're going to keep on making music, and you're going to keep finding yourself. If you're not, what's the point to keep doing it?
Yeah, you're not even. I don't know what you're doing if you're not finding yourself. Yeah, especially being introspective. You feel me?
It's super important, and I think that if you are making music, that regardless of the type of music that you're making, if you see somebody else doing something and it's working for them, sure, you could try to emulate that. But most people, like, how many different styles of music do you listen to?
A good amount.
Most people listen to all kinds of music.
Yeah,
the style doesn't matter. It just needs to be good and genuine.
For sure.
So quality. Just because somebody's doing like some more like trap shit or somebody's doing some more rock stuff, but if you want to make country, that's fine. Just be genuine, honest, and focus on writing good music. Don't focus on the other shit. So many people get so caught up worrying about the algorithms and this and that, but they're not worrying about their songs. Like, if you don't got a good song, you don't got fucking nothing. So just focus on making good music and having good energy, and you will find your own crowd.
Yo, 1,000%. I watched the Russ interview recently. A ton of gems. I don't know if you saw the one he did with Joe Budden, but he dropped so many gems. And one of them was he said somebody else told him that if you start like putting out music, your fans will sniff you out. You know what I'm saying? If you start putting out music and you remain consistent and persistent over time.
Oh yeah.
And it's quality at the least, like
the quality's important.
Your fans are gonna sniff you out, and that's just you just got to keep it up. It's a numbers game, man. Like, who can really, take the bullshit and the hardship for the longest? That's what it is. Because so many people get into it and just like, this is too much. Like, it's not even worth it anymore. And that's where it ends for them, But see, my mind is like, especially like dropping out of college for this and like making this my life, and like. I just feel like I have to just go so hard. And for me, it's like I'll be pursuing this for the rest of my life. Like, however long it takes for me to get to the point I want to be at. And it's not even that, like, I don't have a desire to be like Michael Jackson or Drake or like, anything crazy. It's just like to be able to maintain myself with music solely is like an achievement, But I feel like it's just going to keep going up, with time and everything, and how things are going, how blessed I am to have people like support me the way they are. Like, it's looking great, and I know they're, and just talking about the future, I mean, but I know there's like going to be down times too. You like while there is, I've even in the year I've been into a year almost, like there are downs, there are ups, and like you just have to be ready for all of it.
Well,
No.
you're still a human being, and there's
sure.
still a life that exists outside of yourself and your
1000%.
dreams, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly.
You still got family and friends and,
Yeah.
other people in your life. And it's like, there's always going to be interruptions and shit. But like I said, that's me talking again about that bigger spectrum of life. Like music always isn't going to be everything, because there's all that other stuff.
For sure, yeah.
But all of it should feel like a blessing. All of it should feel great. And
yeah, man.
because if
It's
you
life.
have anything in that circle that's negative, it's going to eventually get to the music. It's going to fuck with that.
For sure, yo.
So,
for sure. That's
Again,
all it is.
environment.
It's all about that. It's all about that, even down to the people like your friends and everything. Like I don't know how much you listen to Gary Vee, but
Oh, no. There was one thing I wanted to say, actually.
Yeah.
So Russ, I didn't listen to the interview you were talking about,
Oh, okay.
but my one thing that I wanted to say about Russ was I never have listened to somebody talk that is so intriguingly arrogant. Like I really I like it, but
Yeah.
he's just so like, it's so no bullshit. It's
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
but it's just very like, there's not a lot of people that talk like him. It's just very interesting.
You know what? I respect Russ a lot. I got a lot of respect for Russ. Like, and I don't even listen to his music like that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I gave his album, I get maybe at the time, anyways, it was his most recent album. I don't know
okay.
what he's put out since then.
yeah,
And it just wasn't for me.
Yeah, yeah.
I
And
wasn't
that's-
like, this is bad.
Bro.
I was just like, this is not for me.
yeah. And that's the thing. He talks about that in his interview. Like he was talking about an instance where Game of Thrones, like somebody was putting him on the Game of Thrones. And Game of Thrones is like, they have a cult following. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like one of my homies was like buying a cult or a cult. He was buying a cult. He was buying like a dinosaur egg, like a $50 dinosaur
Oh, yeah.
egg. I'm like, they have a cult following. And he's like, it doesn't matter if I watch Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is going to keep winning. You know what I'm saying? Game of Thrones is going to keep killing it. They have their fan base. And that's the thing. Like people who are established, like all of us as artists have to realize like our stuff isn't for everyone. The people who it's
Yeah.
for are going to find
There's
you. And
so many people on the planet.
It's so many.
And it's so funny when like you scale it down to the macro level that we're operating on
Yeah,
now, just
yeah.
being like up and coming artists, playing venues in the city where it's like, at best we might be playing a 300 or 400 cap room.
yeah.
And like, even if we can get 400 people to
Which
come
is
out
a
to a
lot.
show,
Yeah.
that's how many people live in Pittsburgh?
Exactly. And do you
Like,
think about the world?
That's such a small fraction. And
Yeah.
like all we need to be happy in that night is just that like, point whatever percent
Yeah, oh God.
of the whole population to show up. But
Straight
even
up.
that's still a lot of work. But
No,
there's
it
so
is.
many people.
Bruh, like
You just gotta,
even-
so don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Just
That's
worry
it.
about your niche.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I don't get caught up in like I know there's so many. All of us, there's so many people. One, all of us are not supposed to think the same. We all don't like the same things. Like, so for someone not to like your music as a person, it's just like it's okay. Like, I don't even trip. Like if somebody doesn't like my music, it's fine. I know it's not for everybody. I know it. Like I know some of the records that I put out specifically, just some people just aren't going to rock with. And the real people I have around me will tell me, yo, this isn't for me. But like, you can respect the quality of it at the least.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing. Like everybody doesn't like the same thing. Don't expect everybody to like
I could
your
tell
stuff.
when somebody's doing something because they have something to say and they give a shit about it versus somebody doing something just because they want to put out something. Like I could tell when there's heart behind it.
Yeah,
I guess is
1,000.
what I'm saying. And also to answer your question, I do watch some of Gary Vee stuff.
Word,
I'm
okay.
not like subscribed to him on anything,
Yeah.
but the algorithms are always putting his shit in front of me.
Yeah,
I
he's
feel like
crazy.
it's
He
just-
goes crazy.
Yeah, so
I don't
that's-
even know what I was about
He
to say.
kind of
about
stresses
him.
me out listening to
Word.
him talk sometimes,
You
but like
think?
in a good way.
I love Gary.
You know what
I'm
I mean? He's just very like intimidating, but I like it. I like his
Yeah,
energy.
No, he is, and he definitely influenced me to drop out of college for sure.
Okay.
he was definitely one of my influences because I was listening to him so much, and I'm like a really like logical thinker. Like before I make decisions, I'll like think about it pretty much.
Yeah.
And lately I've been trying to not like waste too much time being so logical and strategic about stuff, But
It can get the best of you.
yeah, it's gotten the best of me so many times. It's bad. I'm working on me. You feel me? But I don't even know what I was gonna like say about him really in the instance. But he's dope. Shout out to Gary Vee.
Yeah.
For sure. But no, Russ specifically. You were talking about. I respect Russ because, well, one, I mean he's like he has complete creative control over like all of his stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which is like super dope. And like, and Russ isn't even like some people that a lot of people think are like cocky or like arrogant and everything. it's just like there's this weird thing. I was just talking about this with somebody the other day, where for a person like Russ, he mixes, masters, engineers, sings, produces everything. It's crazy.
He like has a right to be as arrogant as
he is. For sure. But
like I like it. I don't, when I throw that term around, it's not in a negative way.
No, you said likable arrogance. You said likable arrogance.
Intriguingly arrogant.
Oh yeah, intriguingly arrogant. It really is, because it's like he's an anomaly, but it's like when you can do a lot and you're a multi-talented individual like Russ, everybody else can talk about you forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. But as soon as you're like, yeah, I mixed, mastered, produced, sang, and did all of this on here, everybody's like, he's cocky. Just you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's crazy because that's how it is. But he really, I mean, he has a right to pop his shit. You feel me? Like, yeah. And the amount the work he's put in, like, oh my God, it's insane. Like,
I feel like anybody that has really like been behind the curtain or been behind the board has stayed up till 3 or 4 in the morning trying to get a mix down. People that have been in that position will listen to somebody like him talk and be like, I fuck with this. Yeah. I don't think he's cocky. Like, I just think I get it.
Yeah.
Because I've been there.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like, this is energy that I need to aspire to get to.
Yeah. If anything, like you said, this energy you should aspire to get to. Like, if anything is inspiring. You know what I'm saying? Like the way he comes at things and like what he does.
But sometimes there's a lot of what if type people, or people that naysay, or people that want to do stuff and they just never do it. So people that have a hard time even doing 1 or 2 things hear somebody talk about that does everything, and it's like, oh, fuck that guy.
Yeah, no, see,
but it's a lot of they're projecting a lot of
bro. It is
self problems onto that dude.
Input and output, man. Like you gonna output what's inside of you. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a person that can't see Russ and be like, damn, he's winning, I need to get on that type of time, or like, good for him at least. You know what I'm saying? Like that just it really like reflects like what's in you. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because like, you know, when you're doing what you love, like, you know, starting up this podcast and like doing music and stuff like that, you're probably like a happy individual. Like overall, you're probably a pretty happy person because you're doing what you love. Like you're giving other people opportunities, and like you're just a happy person. So you're just gonna output happiness. You feel me? Like that's just the equation.
Optimally,
you know? Yeah. So it's just like that's how it works, man. Like you just gotta change up your surroundings and like. And start shit like you did.
Start the beat.
Yeah, start the beat. There you go. You're quick with it.
No, I think that, just if you want to do something, just fucking do it.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. And like going back to Gary Vee, he's the reason like I do a lot of the shit I do, and I'm as consistent as I am because he preaches that, like, just do it. Like you said, you're gonna fail, and that's just a part of success. At least don't waste the time thinking too much about it. Just go for it and do it. If it doesn't work out, learn from it and do it again. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's just it. Do it again after that. After you fuck up for the 4th time, try it again. You feel me? And that's just what it's about. It's a numbers game, dog. Eventually, you're gonna get that thing right. Eventually, you're gonna be great at that instrument. You know what I'm saying? Like eventually you're gonna come out with some sort of hit that's gonna gain some sort of traction. As long as you have the
passion.
That's it. And you just got to find what you're passionate about. Mine is music, man. Sounds like yours is too. Yeah. And then giving other people opportunities too, which is amazing.
Yeah, no, I mean, for me, over the years, I found that one of the things that I loved about making music was the ability to connect with other people, make music with other people, play music with other people, sit back, watch other people's sets, have people watch my set, sit down, talk with people like this. Yeah. Outside of just my own selfish creative output, I love just being a part of something that's bigger than myself and knowing that I'm a part of this world. And there's a lot of people that are doing a lot of stuff that they love and they care 1,000%. About. And it's really, really important, I think, for anybody that's a creative, even though being creative can come from kind of like an introverted sort of space. You know what I mean? Like you have your time that you spend in the lab or in the dojo or whatever you call your creative space. Sure. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's fine, but you got to get out there. You go perform your music, go watch other people perform their music, go on interviews, talk with people, just be a part of the thing. Cause it's just gonna, you need to stay. I think it's important to just stay reminded of like what you have and just how beautiful it is. Don't take it for granted.
Yeah.
A lot of
1,000%.
people I've found over the years that do music, they take it for granted. They get grumpy. They don't care.
Yeah.
Just because something didn't work out for them, they say that, there's nothing here.
Yeah.
It's just like, no.
Once you accept that that's a part of the process, shit not working out, then it's just way easier to go through this whole music career thing. You know what I'm saying? Like once you anticipate the failures and the fuck ups, like it just makes it so much
It's like
easier
building credit.
Yeah. You're right.
It ain't easy, but one day you'll get that loan. Somebody will let you buy a house.
Facts. Yeah, there you go.
He's got to work on it a little bit, chip away at that shit.
That's all it's about. You know what I'm saying? Like
just pay your bills on time consistently.
Right. Yeah, yo, give him a little credit lesson real quick. Shit, we all need that, man. Damn. But no, yeah, like that's 100% facts. You know what I'm saying? Like
don't bite off more than you could chew.
Yeah,
too.
there you go.
Take on the work that you can afford to.
Yeah, for sure. That was a huge thing for me. That was a huge thing for me because I'm passionate about music. But I'm just most passionate about music. You know what I'm saying? I have other things that I like.
You're a human.
And like I'm a human. Like I'm just not all music, you feel me? Like you said, but that was a huge thing for me. Even when I was in college, like I learned that in college, like I took on, being president of my class. I was president of Black Student Union. I was like a part of this committee, like, and then a part of this committee, and then that committee came. Like,
so wait,
OD.
This goes back to my power of learning to say no.
Yeah, damn. See, and this goes back to me finding myself. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm talking about.
This goes back to me finding myself, and we just had a moment right here.
Yeah,
because that's what it. Yeah,
seems like you just had a hard time saying no to things.
Yeah, that's what it was, man. Damn. I just found myself. Yo, it's lit.
Well, I'll tell you this is like, that's the one thing though, is like everybody has their own unique journeys and stories. Facts. But like I've been doing this show for a while. I'm almost at 300 episodes. It's a lot of fucking conversations, a lot of artists.
Woo, that's crazy. Congratulations. Yo, clap it up for yourself. Yeah.
Thank you. But one thing that I've learned over my time doing this show is that so many artists have that thing in common. There's just those little nuances, regardless of if they are a business owner, a chef, a musician, regardless of genre, style. It's like those things, everybody.
Facts.
So many people that have sat where you're sitting have had that issue of just not knowing how to say no to shit.
It was bad, dog. It was bad. I was so flooded, with everything. And when you take that much on, it gets you to a point where you can't be effective anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because you're so spread out. You like it's just horrible.
I always try to think of like your life, and your life is a pie chart.
Yeah.
Put everything you're doing on that pie chart. It's like, okay, you know what I mean? You're one person that has 100% doing 20 things.
Dog.
That means everything only gets 5%.
Bro,
at most.
Too much. I was doing
at
too
most.
much. It's bad. Yeah, it's horrible.
And if you want something to succeed, you got to put what? As close to 100% as possible.
That's why I dropped out of college.
So,
you know what I'm saying? Like, and that was really the equation for me in my brain. I'm like there are people out here who are just doing music. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I want to, because like I said, I don't want to wish to be like Drake and have stardom per se. You know what I'm saying? But I want to be able to reach mass amounts of people. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like music is just an amazing thing where you can use it to positively affect people. You can use it to negatively affect people too. But I feel like with my intention with wanting to positively affect music, I want to reach the masses. So I want to get to that point where my voice is heard by a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And getting to that point, like you gotta say no to a lot of things, and and you gotta give 100%.
The hardest thing
of yourself to it.
The hardest thing is it gets to a point where, for a while, it's like, okay, you're saying no to shit that you don't really want to do anyways, and that's easy.
Yeah,
but then it gets to a point where you have to start saying no to things that you want to do. Yeah. You just don't have the time.
Yeah.
And like learning how to what opportunity is the right one to say yes to. Exactly. What should I say no to?
Exactly. And there's people out here that want that same spot. It's competitive. Yeah. It's competitive, like by nature. Like this music thing is competitive. Whether you like it or not, you are competing against the rest of the world. Uh-huh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I had a conversation yesterday. I do some live streams from now on. I've been doing them weekly now. Okay. Where I have people I just do hot takes on shit and Word. One thing that everybody's always talking about is pay to play shit on shows. You know what I mean? Like you're paying to get on a gig.
Yeah.
And like, okay, like, yeah, it sucks. But the thing you got to understand is that there are plenty of people that are happy to pay. And if you don't want that spot, you don't got to take it. But someone else is going to take it.
Yeah.
So it's like just finding the opportunities that are right for you
1000%.
and your path.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But don't complain about it because that shit's going to exist whether you want it to or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Just don't
even put that energy out there.
There's plenty of basements and shit that you could play shows in that you don't got to pay to play.
Yeah, for sure.
But you know what I mean? If you want to fucking, play a room in front of a few hundred people,
Yeah.
you might have to sell some tickets. You
Yeah.
might have to pay to get on a spot.
1000%.
If you want to go on a tour, you might have to pay to buy onto a tour.
Yeah.
These are things that people do. It's business. And like I keep saying all the time, like if fucking Drake plays here, he's still paying to play here, basically.
Word.
Like, his label's taking money out of his thing, like
Yeah.
it's all pay to play.
Bruh, for real, it is.
The more money you make, the more they take. You
Dog.
think you're making all them fucking stream revenue and all that shit yourself? Fuck no.
Even as an up and coming artist, like the money you gotta put behind yourself as an artist.
Everything is pay to play. So
Dog.
if you're gonna start sweating about like being asked to sell $10 tickets to a show, you got a long, hard road ahead of you.
Yeah,
I'm
for
sorry.
sure.
That's just. But I mean, if you don't have the aspirations to be on that next level, but you still want to make music, that's cool.
Yeah, and there's ways to do it. Like for people that don't really do pay to play, like put on your own show.
Oh, yeah.
That's gonna cost money too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I put together my own. I put together my own shows, and that's another thing where I'm like, okay, just do it. Don't know if it's gonna work out great, but I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been doing. I've been putting together my own events, lining up my own artists.
Yeah, it's not impossible. Again,
it's not. It's doable.
You can
Especially in
fucking do
Pittsburgh.
it. I just feel like there are too many people that want too much, too quick. And they want everything handed to them.
Bruh, that's it. I don't want to do a show unless there's 500 people. Fuck out of here. like you can't have that energy. You know what I'm saying? Especially me. No matter how great of an artist you think, you can be phenomenal, but people don't know who you are. You know what I'm saying? So you got to start off small. We all started with 0 followers on Instagram. We got to start with the same thing in real life. You feel me? And doing my first show, when I dropped my first EP, that was so I started in February dropping music. I had my EP release party in April. That was the first show I threw. Artists and everything.
Where'd you do the show at?
Roboto.
Cool.
Yeah, that's because I just had connections there and just making it happen. Like I wasn't going to worry about like where it was or like whatever. We gonna do this thing. That's the important part. Do it. You feel me? So put it together. It turned out phenomenal in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And I did it again. And I think the second time I did it, we counted like it was like 60 something, 70 something heads. You know what I'm saying?
That ain't nothing.
Dude, that made me happy as shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's nothing. Like for me, that's a lot for me. You know what I'm saying? For that many people to come out and like pay and like buy my t-shirts while they're there. And like, bro, I felt like I wanted to cry. You feel me? Like, cause and like, you just gotta find appreciation and gratitude in the small moments like that and understand you got to start from nothing. You feel me? Like, and it's just all about like growing. You feel me? So it was a little bit bigger than my last event, but I'm looking to do it bigger when I drop this EP, Sanctuary. When I drop the EP in February, maybe March, I think we're gonna do the release show, making t-shirts again for everybody, trying that out, trying to figure out the whole merch thing still, and it's just amazing. Like you just have to try it though. Like it's not, you can't start with like 500 people coming to your shows. No matter. And I always tell people like I'll perform anywhere. I'll perform damn near anywhere because what's the worst that can happen?
You got to, and you never know who's gonna be there.
1,000%, man. It's so many instances. Like I'm sure you've experienced it with coming up in the music scene and everything. But it's so many instances. Like if you backtrack, the accomplishments you've achieved. Like you can always be like, man, if I didn't go to this place at that time and meet that person, this wouldn't have happened. And then that wouldn't have happened if that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
And like, so it's all about, I'm all about maximizing opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my thing. Like I want to maximize as much opportunity and connect with as many people as I can to fuel that, and achieve that ultimate spot. That's really what it's about. Just creating you have to create opportunity for yourself. Some opportunity just comes down, it just falls into your lap gratefully, but you got to create opportunity for yourself. You feel me? Like, so you just got to take control of your own destiny. And that's just what it is. Like, if you really want it, like, you got to take matters into your own hands. What I've really learned is doing this music thing, you got to do it yourself.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just it. Point blank, period.
Well, no. Again, we're humans.
Yeah.
And people are undeniably selfish. It's just part of our thing.
You're gonna take care of yourself before you take care of somebody else. That's just how we function as humans, and it's fine. You just got to accept that, and like at the least, you can't expect anything, from anyone. Like, you just can't.
No.
You just got to take matters into your own hands. Do it. You know what I'm saying?
Focus on what you can control.
That's it.
You have no control over if 4 people are going to come to your show or 400 are going to come.
Bruh, and that's the thing.
You could promote it all you want.
Oh, God.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You have no control.
And you got to be
really
prepared.
don't.
You got to be prepared for those moments and be okay with those moments.
Yeah.
Like, it's all good. With my show, I'm going to put on, I think I'm going to try to do it at the Smiling Moose. It's not for sure yet, but like, I want that obviously to be bigger than my last 2 shows, and it's a totally different vibe. It's going to be like pretty much all acoustic, and I don't know. Is it going to be? Maybe not. And if not, fuck it. You kind of just got to have that mindset. Like,
the important thing is to do the show. It's just tell people, but you have no control over anything outside of that.
I know I'm gonna go to this show and I'm gonna sing my heart out. I don't care how many people are there. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving it everything I got and just appreciating the moment and just knowing like you just can't. I'm at a place right now. I don't even get worked up over shit because half the shit just doesn't even matter. The fact that I wanted like 100 people to come to my show and 20 might come.
Oh yeah.
What, bro?
Well,
I gotta wake up tomorrow and keep grinding. You feel me?
You're talking about this being the rest of your life. What's one show?
Dog, it's crazy, bro. People tell me, like, one of my homies, yo, I'm not even gonna, I'm gonna shout him out. Yo, my dog K Smacks, man. He's an artist himself too. Trying to drop consistent and everything, but he's like 23, right? I'm like 21. He always is like, yo, you're younger than me. You can do this and that. And I'm like, dog, think about life and think about you being 2 years older than me. That's not shit. You feel me? Like we're both really young. All of us in our 20s, whether you're in your 30s, you could be in your 60s. You still have a good 30 years, maybe even.
Oh yeah.
30 years.
Take care of yourself.
I'm not even 30. You feel me?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. We all have time to do this shit. You feel me? You got to be patient. That patience is a thing with this too. Like while I want to positively affect massive amounts of people, I know it takes time, and you have to go into it knowing like, yo, this might not happen for a decade,
bro.
10 years.
It's like, okay, yeah. It's like, Billie Eilish is young as hell.
Yeah.
But she's been making music since she's like 9. She put about a decade in before she blew.
Oh God, bro. Like that's literally and not going back to Russ.
Yeah.
Bro, he dropped what, 10 albums before he popped? 10, do you know how?
Oh yeah. I know.
Yo,
how much work
imagine dropping 5 albums and nobody's fucking with you.
That's me, bro.
You know what I'm saying? That's a part of the process.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, people see Russ as cool. Boom. Russ is cool. 5 albums in, people don't look at the up and coming artists like outsiders who are not like a part of your movement or anything, have eyes on you. Outsiders don't look at, it's not cool to be up and coming. It's cool to be on. You feel me?
Sure.
Like, it's cool to be popping. So that affects people. Like, it's about you. It's the passion. You cannot drop 10 albums and not be completely, you cannot pull 9 albums and not be completely discouraged and just give up without you being passionate about what you do.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, bro. Like, so I'm ready to go in 10 albums, give them to me. If I'm not popping, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna drop an 11th album and we gonna keep going from there.
It's about your journey. It's not so much about
you can't compare yourself to people.
If other people come on, they come on. If they don't, you're still having a good time.
Some people pop like that, man. Like some people pop in 3 months.
And to be honest, there are people that are making music that support themselves off of their music that aren't technically on, that you've never heard of.
Right.
And
which is a win in itself.
but they're fine.
That's a win right there.
They're living. They're eating.
They're probably happy as hell.
You know,
too,
and
what I'm
it's
saying?
just like I think it's just so crazy. It's like you just never know what somebody's background was, where they came from, how much
Bruh.
work they've put in.
At all. You can't even compare yourself to other people. Like
Yeah.
everybody's experience is different. But the one thing you do have to come into the game with is patience, you know, and like I'm some.
Well, yeah, dude, that's I haven't brought it up tonight, but I
Yeah.
always say like there's like I call them the 3 P's
Word.
in my head. It's passion, patience, and persistence.
Bruh, that sounds like a combo to me.
That's it.
That's it. That's really it, dog. Like, bro, if you have patience, persistence, and you're passionate, like you're in there.
Yeah.
Like, because and that's not even saying like you will be, if you have patience, persistence, passion, you're gonna be like the next big thing. That's not even saying that.
I mean,
You're gonna be happy with your
like,
life.
That's life shit. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna be a happy individual with your life. If you're persistently doing the thing you're passionate about and you have patience, bro, you're happy. It's not about being a top whatever. You know, it's about what do you want in life? Work towards that consistently every day. You'll probably be happy.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna make little progress, you know, here and there. You're gonna fall off for a second and have a fuck up, continue to make process, keep building. If you're always working towards what you're passionate about, what? Like, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. Like, I love this shit. You feel me? Like, and just waking up every day. It's not easy all of the time to do everything, you know? Like I said, there's hard times, but
Some days you wake up late. You might feel a little bit sluggish,
Bruh.
under the weather.
yo, I'm not even gonna cap. Yo, I just got these new blackout blinds. Dog, and I'm not even the type. Everybody knows me. Like, I'm going like super early. Nah, man. The sleep-ins are terrible. You got to get out of that real quick. It's bad. It's tough. Yeah, the blackout blinds, man. Woo. They'll have you in bed for a minute. Don't get blackout blinds, man.
All right, noted.
Yeah.
Not gonna do it.
Stay away.
Yo, so wrapping up, let people know again where they can find your stuff online.
Bet.
And do you have any? If you have any events coming up, I guess you don't. You'll have an event for the EP once it drops.
Yeah.
but there's nothing to announce yet.
Yeah.
So we'll just let people know where they could find the stuff that currently exists.
Okay, yeah. So right now, like I said, you can find me Apple Music, Spotify, all of the major platforms for streaming. YouTube, check out like my music videos and everything like that. For things upcoming, first time I'm mentioning this too is the About Time music video is looking to drop on Valentine's Day. So something for
Okay.
all of my Valentine's Day people. Is going to be a dope music video. Shout out to Edge, Kat Burton, my videographer, creative director. They're awesome. And then what? Have your eyes peeled for my EP dropping in February and release party and artist showcase, everything in March. So yeah, just keep your eyes peeled. You can follow me on Instagram, Joziah Council at yahoo.com. Why am I giving my email? That's not even the email I use. At Yahoo, follow me at yahoo.com. No, at Josiah. Everything is Joziah Council because it's a unique name, so I just use it for everything. You feel me?
Yeah,
like,
I got you.
I was just done giving somebody my email. That's hilarious. But
Find him on. He's on AOL. He's on Instant Messenger.
Yo, I'm weak. No, yeah, follow me IG Joziah Council. That's Josiah with a Z. Yeah, and if you need to email me, I guess you got it now too. Yeah, we lit. Email's about to be popping.
That's so funny. All right. And that is all, folks. Thanks so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed the conversation. One more time, Joziah Council.
Thanks for having me.
It was so nice
This was
talking with you.
fantastic,
This was
man.
tight.
I'm so glad I came through and got to chop it up with you,
Yeah.
man. You're awesome, dude.
Likewise. I really appreciate
Appreciate
the time
that.
you taking
Thank
the time. I'll be back again in a couple days with another episode. I'll be back to wearing my
Show
own clothes. I
clothes.
won't be we didn't talk about
Yeah,
these
we
jackets
didn't.
at all.
We
But I
didn't.
think it's funnier that we didn't. To be completely honest, I think it's better that we didn't.
We
But
lit.
yeah, I'll be back again in a couple days with another episode. Same time, same place, same channel. You know the drill. My name is Sykes. Start the beat 2020. Woo woo!
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Let's get
Peace
it.
out, friends. We're done. That's it.
That was awesome.
Thank you. I had a great time.
Thanks so much, man.
You got it.